guys, this is Rita and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I have makeup on my t-shirt, so please ignore that. But welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to share with you guys 7 of my favorite books that I have read in this year. And I know that it hasn't gone that long since we started 2018. Or it has, because it's always April and I cannot believe it's April already because time flies. But yeah, I have with me 7 books, or I have 6 of them here, but I'll be sharing with you guys 7 of them. And these are the books that have really inspired me a lot, that have changed me in a good way, that have changed the way I saw society, I saw people, changed the way that I understood some situation and all that. And to be honest, I've been so lucky when it comes to books this year, because all of the books that I've picked up have been amazing and literally life-changing. That's why I want to share this book with you guys, because because it may change the way you see some situation, or change the way you see a society, or it will just change you in a positive way. And that's why I want to share with you guys these books, because as I said, these books have really changed my life in a very positive way. So the first 2 books that I wanted to share with you guys are from the same author. The first one is Milk and Honey, and the second one is The Sun and Her Flowers. So both of the books are from the same author, as I said, Rupi Kaur, and I'm sure you guys have already heard of Rupi Kaur or have seen her poems online, or mostly on Instagram, because her poems are very popular, and I know that everyone can identify themselves with her poems, so that's why they are very viral on Insta. And the first book that she came out with was this one, The Milk and Honey, and this is actually a self-published book which was later on picked up by a book publishing company. And this is her second book, The Sun and Her Flowers, that came out recently. I think it was in October 2017. So both of her books have been #1 on New York Times bestsellers, and as you can see, everyone has been loving them, and I'm also one of those people who have been loving her books. And the reason why I identify myself so much with her books, that's because she was born into an immigrant family. So in her books, she writes a lot about that experience and the things that her parents had to go through. And since I myself do also belong to an immigrant family, I know all the problems that my parents had to went through, and I myself have gone through all of those problems. So I really can identify myself with all her poems. But that's not the only topic she writes about. In her books, she writes about every single feeling we as a human being go through. So I feel like every single person can really identify themselves in her books, and can really identify her emotions and all the feelings she puts on her poems. And it's really amazing. I cannot explain you guys how amazing these 2 books are. And even if you aren't into poems or anything like that, please give these books a try, because you will not regret it, and you will love these books a lot, because they are really good. And out of these 2 books, my favorite book is this one, and the reason is because in this book she writes about her mother, all the feelings that her mother had to go through, and all the hardships and all that stuff. So I could really identify myself, and I really got very emotional reading this book, because I could feel every single emotion. So this is my favorite out of these 2, but both of them are very good, so please give them a try. So the third book that I have here is this one, Read This If You Want to Take Great Photographs, by Henry Carroll. And this book is perfect if you are just stepping into photography, or if you just bought a DSLR, or if you know how to take pictures but they don't get that perfect, or don't get that perfect look that you wanted. So this book will be perfect for you. And this book is divided into 5 sections: composition, exposure, light, lenses, and seeing. And every section has their own examples of stuffs you should do, any stuffs you shouldn't do. Have great photos that will inspire you a lot. And the best thing about this book is that it's written in a way that everyone can understand it. It has very simple words, and even if you have never been into photography or anything like that, you'll understand this book, and you'll not have any complications into getting this book and understanding it. And it doesn't have any fancy word that photographers use or anything like that. So I totally recommend this book if you want to take good photos, or if you want to understand your camera, or if you're just stepping into photography, I'll totally recommend this to you. And I think the same author has also 2 other books, and one of them is to take pictures of nature, and the other one is to take pictures of people, like portraits. So, and this is for everything in general. So if you aren't sure what you want to take pictures of yet, what you want to focus on in photography, then I think this book will be perfect for you. But if you have found your passion into photography and you know what you want to focus on, what you want to take pictures of, whether it's of people or of nature and buildings or stuff like that, so you can, I guess, buy one of those books that you identify most with. But this one is perfect for people who are getting into photography because it teaches you to do everything. It will help you a lot, and this book has also helped me to find my passion or my interest into photography, what I like to take pictures of. And I think it will also help you a lot to find your interest into photography. So give this book a try if you want to take great photographs, as it says on the cover. And to be honest, I bought this book because of the cover. It seems super minimalist and super cool, so, and I thought it was a very new thing, a very new idea, so I got it because of the cover. But after some time I realized that it's not only the cover, but book itself is amazing, so that's why I have this book on my list. So the next one that I have here is this one, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And this book is, as it says, it has 48 laws. Each section is divided by a law, and each section is also divided into 5 other parts. So in the first part, they basically explain you, or they give you an example of how you should use the law. And the second part is where they help you to understand that text or that story. And the third part is again a story where they show you how they use that power. The fourth part is understanding of that power, and the fifth part is power to key. They basically explain you the law, and they tell you that there are situations where you shouldn't use that law. And I know that the way that I'm explaining the book sounds very boring, but it's not boring at all. I promise you, it's really good, and you will learn a lot with this book. But there are steps in this book that I don't agree with at all, or not steps but laws in this book that I don't agree with at all, but I still wanted to include here because this book has taught me a lot of things, and I think I've realized it a lot of different situations, or I have really realized it how to work or get out of a lot of situations. So I think this book is very, very, very good, and you learn a lot with it. And the other thing is that this book has a lot of quotes that will really make you think and will change the way you see some situation. And as I said at the start, there are books that have changed the way I saw some situations. So this is the book that have changed me in a way, changed the way I think, and changed the way I saw some situations, reacted about some situations, and it really has helped me a lot. And all the stories in this book are real stories, so you'll see the consequences of the law, or you'll see the consequences of not using that law. So I think this book is very, very, very good, and you can read this book the way you want. Like, you can read one law per day, or you can read one law each week, or you can read one law each month. But I think each month will be too much. But what I did was that I read one law in a week. So every Sunday I read a law, and the laws aren't that big. It's like only 2 or 3 pages, so it's not that big. And every law has as I said, on examples, on stories, on quotes, and all that stuff. So it will really inspire you a lot, and it will change you in a positive way. So I needed to include this here, so that's why I have this book in this list. So the next book that I have here is this one, Vår otroliga hjärna by Johan Nordberg. And to be honest, I don't know if they have this book in English or not, but if I find this book translated in English, I'll link it down below so you guys can maybe buy it, or just see the reviews and all that, because reviews, I think reviews are very important when you decide to buy a book. And yeah, so if I find this book in English, I'll link it down below. This book is about your brain. It basically explains how human brain works and what is IQ and why we people are judged based on our IQ and all that stuff. And to be honest, human brain is my favorite topic in this entire world. I love, like, it's fascinating how human brain works. It's fascinating that you are who you are because of your brain. So I really love this topic. So when I saw this book, I was like, I need to get it. And another reason why I got this book is because in the cover it says that your brain will not work in the same way as it did before after reading this book. And I have to say that I totally agree with it. You will see human brain in a different way. You will see people's intelligence in a different way. You'll see IQ in a different way. I think you'll just understand where people are just based on their IQ, on their school grade. So this book is amazing if you love stuffs about human brain, if you love to read stuffs about society and how people are judged and all that stuff. This is a really great book. Even if you don't, give this book a try. You know, it's a good thing to try new stuffs, so you'll never know, maybe you'll like it and you'll find a new passion. So I have this book on my list because it's amazing. So the next book that I have here is this one, Kvinner ve 1000 grader by Hallgrímur Helgason. And I don't know if I pronounced the name right or not, but this book is amazing, and it got me so long to get this book in my hands because I saw this book in December or something like that, but it was sold out in every single bookstore in Oslo. So you can see how popular this book is. It was sold out in every single bookstore in Oslo, and it was Christmas time and New Year time, so I had to wait like 4 to 5 weeks to get this book. And once I got this book, I started to read it, and this book is just amazing, guys. So the reason why I got this book in the first place was because of the reviews. Reviews are very important when you are buying a book, and people said that it was a really good book, and you will feel connected to the story and all that stuff. It had a really good review, so I got this book, and let me tell you, I totally agree with them. And this book is about a woman, as it has in the cover, and she's 80 years old. And this woman, she was born in Second World War or something like that, and into a very big family with money and all that stuff. But by the time she lost the connection with all her family members, and now she doesn't have anyone. So she lives alone in a small tiny garage, and she cannot move. So she needs to lay in bed every single day, and 2 nurses come to her house or to check up on her twice in a day, and they check up on her and they go, and she cannot go to the toilet, she cannot do anything alone, so she needs to lay in bed every single day. So the only thing she has is her tiny laptop. So she travels through the world with her tiny laptop, and to be honest, I could understand that because that's what I do basically every single day, lay in bed and connect to the world through internet. Since the Christmas is coming soon, she takes a very big decision, and that is to die. She simply decides to die, and because she doesn't want to feel alone again in Christmas, she doesn't want to spend Christmas alone, and she doesn't want to go through all that struggle once again. So what she does is she decides to die, and she plans her death perfectly. She calls a funeral company, she decides on time, on date, she decides on cremation, and she basically plans her death. And this book is about that woman's life and her big decision to die. So it's a really good book, and you'll get very emotional, but you'll love this book. You'll really understand all the emotions, all the feelings, and as I said, you'll get really emotional reading this book. But it's a very good book which I think everyone should give a try, because this book is really amazing, people. And the last book that I want to share with you guys is the one that I don't have here with me, and it is Veronica Decide Morrer, or Veronica Decides to Die by Paulo Coelho. I was on the library and I saw this book, and I thought the cover was very childish, so I was like, I don't want to read this book, but I read the description, and I started to read the book without realizing. So I just sat down in the library, and without realizing I have read half part of the book, and then I was like, oh my god, this book is really good. So I just brought it back home with me, and I read the whole book in 2 to 3 days because it was really good. And this book is about a girl named Veronica, and she is 20 something. I don't remember how old she was in the story, but she's 20 something, and this story is based in a real story. So like there's a person who went through all this as the girl on the story went through. So the story, as I said, is about a girl named Veronica. She's 20 something, and she has a perfect life. She has a family who love her, she has a job, she has a college degree, she has everything. She doesn't live with her parents, she lives alone, she's independent, she has everything. She has a boyfriend, she has friends who love her, she has everything. But one day she decides to die. She just takes a lot of pills and decides to die. The big reason behind her decision is because she has a perfect life. She has a perfect life and she doesn't want that life anymore, so she decides to die. So this book is really amazing. It goes through a lot of mental problems, it goes through society problems, it goes through a lot of stuff. So this book is amazing. It's really amazing, guys. I love this book so much, and it's probably my favorite one out of this list. And please give this book a try because I think everyone would love this book, because this book is really amazing. This was it for this video, guys. If you want to give a try to any of these books that I've included here, I'll promise you'll not regret it. You'll love all of them, and as I said, they will change you in a positive way, because they have changed me in a positive way. So they have basically brought a very positive change in me, and I hope it can be the same way with you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your favorite books and recommend me some books, because I really need books to read right now. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.